Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste. I've been around for a long, long year. Stole many a man's soul of faith. I was around when Jesus Christ had his moment of doubt and pain. Me damn sure the pilot.
All right, welcome to the Texas Hemp Show. This is podcast number 125 this week here on the Texas Hemp Show. I'm Russell Dowden, your host and publisher for the Texas Hemp Reporter magazine. Our magazines are available in Houston, San Antonio, Austin, and Dallas, Texas. They're available in CBD stores and smoke shops and health and wellness centers across the state of Texas as we cover the ever-growing landscape of Texas CBD, hemp, and cannabis here in the Lone Star State. Podcast 125 this week as we welcome in our listeners. And good morning to everybody listening on ESPN 1027 here in Austin, Texas this week. And special shout out to sponsors. I wanted to kind of just shout out to our friends over at CBD Pros. I wanted to say thanks to them. Also, Smile and Wellness is one of our new sponsors that we have here on the Texas Hemp Show. We've got Bucka Buzz is a new product that's going to be running from our friends over at Weed and Whiskey TV. So just kind of saying hi to and thanks to some of those guys that have sponsored us. And I'll shut up. Say hi, Rachel. She looks better. She's good looking.
Hello.
Hi there. How you doing?
Oh, I'm good. It's been a busy day for us.
It has, and I think that's why I was a little closer because we did a show actually earlier over with J-Man at Weed and Whiskey News, and so we were at the downtown Austin studio that he rents down there, and we're kind of doing some content with him, and so our entire staff went down there and earlier in the day, and so it's kind of like we already did a show, even though that was much earlier in the day today after, and so here we are. We're podcast 125. Joining us this week on the show is one of our sponsors and collaborators here that we've been working with now for several months. Is our friends up in Oklahoma from CannaSpyglass is joining us on the program today. Warren is the one of the co-founders there, and he's joining us from Oklahoma, and we're going to bring him in and say hi and let him tell us about the fabulous products they have. And it's data.
Right. Data as a service.
Data as a service. And we're gonna bring in let's go ahead and bring in Warren and say hi to Warren over at CannaSpyglass, your trusted source for cannabis industry data. Warren, how are you, my friend?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, man. We kind of bumped into you last October over in the Lucky Leaf Expo there in Albuquerque. Yep. And that's kind of when we started rubbing elbows with you guys. I was real impressed with your booth there that you guys had. And you were part of that whole segment that was all Oklahoma kind of hanging out in the end of that convention center there in Albuquerque. But I was really impressed with what you guys do. Tell us a little bit about CannaSpyglass and give us some of your background there, Warren.
So CannaSpyglass is a company I started with my brother-in-law and a colleague of his that he worked with for a long time in the energy space. Like Rachel said, it's data as a service in Oklahoma. I think, most of the people who are in this market understand that Oklahoma has a lot of license holders. And so, Adam and I, we'd invested in a grow, and we were trying to, monetize our harvest, and started, kind of beating the bushes on who can we sell this stuff to. And then we were having problems, finding out, who was behind all the licenses. So we began building out a database of the license holders in Oklahoma, who they are, where they are, administrative agents, just emails, phone numbers of owners, things like that. So that, we could move forward with our grow. And then, through that process, we began to realize that, a lot of people were looking for that information. And so, we we took it to a couple of groups, and they said, wow, we'd really like access to this information. And there you have it. We had CannaSpyglass, and we spent about the next 18 months building out the rest of the United States.
So the
Wow.
groups that you guys went to, did you have kind of a focus group that helped you build out the software? I believe you said something about that whenever I interviewed you for the magazine article.
So, Adam and Raju, my partners, they were running with the build out and development of CannaSpyglass initially, and we worked with a few different groups of developers, and we finally landed on creating our own development team, and that's how we got the work done.
Nice. And you also talked about the variety of industries that you guys serve. Can you kind of tell listeners what kind of industries might benefit from your product?
So a lot of the ancillary services, in and around cannabis can benefit from the information that we're providing. Our clients are comprised of, accounting service group, tax professionals, lighting companies, equipment manufacturers, banks, attorneys, nutrient companies, and quite a few more.
Yeah, I mean, as a business owner myself, I mean, I'm starting to use this service, and it's so overwhelming for my small business. Sometimes we've gotten a large amount of data from you guys, and it is really, really cool, Rachel, the things that you can and what's cool too is, Warren, you guys will actually customize the data sheet for us. If I have a question about what I've got, you guys can actually do a customization order. Isn't there support for things like that?
That's right, and that's the service side of data as a service. If you get in our database and there's any information that may be incomplete, or you want additional information, we have a data request button that you can push, and it's got a subject line and then description, and you can say, hey, I need some more information on these groups in Texas or Alabama or Massachusetts, and we'll put that in the queue for our development team, and we'll go out and manually research that information and provide it back to you.
Yeah, and we Jennifer, my wife, and I, we did this with you guys, Warren, where there was some data in the spreadsheet that we got from you that was initially not, we needed some of it out of the spreadsheet. And so that the way we take the spreadsheet and gave it to our printer, that the labels that print on for the magazines that go to the mail outs for our mail orders, they just had to be in a certain format. And so you guys had no problem tweaking and getting the spreadsheet in a format that was useful for our need. And I thought that was really cool that y'all offered that customization for our business, and that was really cool.
We have a lot of talented, diligent individuals working on our team, and we're here to service people who are looking for information around the license holders and companies that are manufacturing and distributing and growing in this industry.
Well, one of the things I really liked, Rachel, was that we were able to, we have a list of the magazines are in about 800 smoke shops and CBD stores in Texas, here in, Warren, that we deliver to. So the magazines are delivered. We actually have a customized list that we've really kind of homegrown. But what's cool is I've already made my request for the data for Texas license holders, and Warren and his team have given us more data than we even had. We can actually ask for retail stores too, I believe. Isn't that right, Warren?
That's right. We are continuously tracking all the players that are coming in and out of this space, from the grows and processors to the dispensaries, to the distributors and all the various different license types that you see across these different state programs.
Yeah, it's really key for any of you in the cannabis space. If you're a business owner or a grower or anybody that's looking to get into this space, we've all of us that have been in the space in Texas has been in it for the last 3 years or longer. I know my business is 3 years old, but if you are trying to navigate these waters and you need data of companies, not just in Texas, but around the United States, check out CannaSpyglass.com and reach out to Warren and these guys, because they have the industry data on this cannabis market here in the United States. And we will talk a little more with him after a break. We're going to take our first commercial break here on the Texas Hemp Show. This again, podcast number 125. I can't believe we've done 125 of these, but we have. So stay right there, Warren. We'll take a quick break. She's Rachel. I'm Russell. We'll be back on the other side. It's the Texas Hemp Show. Listening to his here on 102.7 ESPN Austin. We'll be back on the other side.
The Texas Hemp Show is brought to you by your friends at CBD Pros USA, your cannabis experts. Right now, you can save 50% off any one product if you mention the Texas Hemp Show. That's right, 50% off anything on the online store menu. Nano Tincture, watermelon gummies, our Brio Drift moisturizing cream, any single item, 50% off. That's CBD Pros. CBD is present in more significant quantities in hemp than marijuana. And because it's non-psychoactive, CBD is widely regarded as the cannabinoid with the most health potential by researchers. If you'd like to learn more about CBD and our products at CBD Pros, you can read our education page and browse some of our products to learn more. Visit CBDProsUSA.com. That's CBDProsUSA.com.
Mylan Wellness is a proud sponsor of the Texas Hemp Show and has earned a reputation for creating future-minded CBD and Delta innovations. From broad-spectrum CBD to a wide variety of recreational products, Mylan offers the best experience while matching the needs of consumers across the board. Are you a fan of edibles? The Mylan connection of in-demand hemp-derived goodies are bursting with flavor, fun to consume, drive long-lasting results, and provide just the right amount of cannabinoid doses. Check out the variety of potent Delta 9 gushers, Delta 8 chocolate malt balls, space rings, and nerd-like candy clusters. Mylan has also unveiled a new line of functional and euphoric mushrooms that provide powerful and pure solutions to nurture the body and elevate the mind. Stay tuned for the biggest launch of the year, Mushroom Life. Go to SmylanWellness.com, SMILYN Wellness.com.
We took the best journalists from politics, health, innovations, cuisine, business, travel, agriculture, and then we put weed in it. Welcome to Weed and Whiskey News. Weed and Whiskey News. News with a twist.
Texas lawmakers are in session this year to improve or alter laws on cannabis and hemp products. So stay tuned this legislative season with the Texas Hemp Show, Saturdays at 8 a.m. on ESPN 102.7. Or download the Texas Hemp Show wherever podcasts are available. The Texas Hemp Show is the official podcast for the Texas Hemp Reporter magazine. The Texas Hemp Show is sponsored by CBD Pros, your cannabis experts. That's the Texas Hemp Show, Saturdays at 8 a.m. on ESPN Austin.
Welcome back to the Texas Hemp Show. I'm Russell. This is podcast 125 of the Texas Hemp Show this week here on the show. Joining us this week is Warren from CannaSpyglass. They are a data company that provides analytical data on the cannabis industry for business owners. And I personally have been using the service since probably February of this year. So it's a very valuable part of anybody's business that's, prospecting leads in this space. I mean, basically his whole list could be a potential of anybody on his whole data is probably a potential advertiser for us if they are interested in targeting Texas. And so CannaSpyglass is really, really cool service. We have been checking it out. They've been able to customize some of the data spreadsheets that we've got. But Warren, you've also got like a mapping tool that I noticed we talked about when I ran into you guys there in Albuquerque last fall. Can you tell us a little bit about this mapping feature? Because I think that's really cool too.
Right. So yeah, the GIS mapping feature that we have, we track the physical addresses of dispensaries and various, manufacturers, and you can see where, where those businesses are located on a map. If you were interested in pursuing leads, driving your car around or something of that nature, but it also gives you a good perspective of where things are concentrated, and just, the physics of kind of how all of this is happening, where the customers are going, and patients are going, and where the product's coming from.
Yeah. And
Yeah, go ahead.
So, obviously lead generation is like an obvious use case for your software, but it can also give informed data to businesses that are looking to expand, right? And also offers supply chain analytics.
That's right. There's a real estate component to these businesses that a lot of people are interested in, and you can get a really good idea of kind of what that looks like. And so we do have subscribers who are investing in real estate and leasing these facilities to license holders that are growing and processing and distributing. And so the map function is certainly helpful to people that are pursuing that angle.
Nice. And I remember you also said that industry transparency was kind of a driving force behind you guys creating CannaSpyglass. So can you talk about how your software brings credibility to the market?
Yeah, absolutely. So, in Oklahoma, there were a lot of licenses issued quickly, which really set up a broker's paradise. And then as, prices began to drop, the producers were getting squeezed and the buyers were getting squeezed by the brokers. And we're providing transparency to both sides, the buyers and the sellers, and trying to, eliminate the ability for bad actors to, take advantage of businesses, and also just who's doing this, and understanding who owns these licenses, and are these stand-up individuals, or are they operating clean companies, and I think we all understand that that's not always the case, depending on where you are, but we're shedding light on who's actually doing this the right way.
Nice.
Yeah, you what's really cool is that it's the evolution of the innovation factor. You guys, with this grow, you quickly realized that you needed this information and found a space in the market where you couldn't find it yourself, so you guys ended up doing it. Creating that void.
That's right. And all three of us, we worked in energy, so we understand what it's like to go try and find operators. In that space, it's there's a lot of similarities, and that's what kind of gave us the idea.
I gotta ask you this one, because I had a client with me earlier today, about an hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago. And I was preparing with your graphic, for this show, and he was asking, what does CannaSpyglass do? And I was telling him about you guys, and one of the first things he wanted to know was, oh, can I get a good email list from them? Do they offer emails? Is the email part of it? Because he wants to build an email database. A lot of people in this space for sales and just marketing strategy, all want to know about a quality email list. You know what I mean? So you guys do have some of that data. There is with operators, emails associated with phone numbers and addresses and contact names and all of that, right?
Yeah, that's right. Where that information's been published, yeah, we do have it, and we populate the database with that information.
Nice. And I know that there's some notable tech functionality that we can mention. You told me that your platform is built on AWS technology, and it also integrates with most CRMs. So can you just talk about the benefits of those things?
Yes, there's, if you have a CRM tool, which there are a lot of them, so people are, using programs like HubSpot or Salesforce or, one of the other 700 that are out there. There's, you can download or upload the data from CannaSpyglass, or, you can connect through API and put that directly into your CRM that your sales team can use to track, their leads and churn and all those things that salespeople do.
So it can sync the data between like your platform and the CRM, or how does it?
Yeah. So there's a couple ways to do it. You can do it through, downloading the information from CannaSpyglass into Excel and uploading it there, or connecting through the APIs.
Yeah, that's what we did, Warren, is we downloaded, we got the data and started uploading it into our CRM, which was Zoho. And then at that time, you could go through there and start building, your call sheets, or assigning the data to salespeople. So that's what we did is to just use the spreadsheet that you guys provided and uploaded it into, our CRM.
A lot of people, like that way. That's I would say that's the preferred way. But there's also the API backend connections that you can use to directly link up to the data pool as well.
It says here you've got population data, vendor listing, financial institutions. That's kind of important. Sometimes people want to know who's lending in cannabis is a very interesting part of this space. So looks like you've got financial institutions, consumer product choices. What are your clients really all looking for? I mean, I guess like anybody is in this space can find a benefit from your data. Is there a particular group that you're seeing more than unusual that's coming to you guys? Is just a plethora of everyone?
It is a plethora. There's lots of different things you can do with this data, depending on whether you're a bank or you're a lighting company, or you're selling nutrients, or providing tax services. Knowing who that buyer universe is, and understanding who your potential clientele is very important to many different aspects within the market. So I'm sure a lot of our subscribers are using the data in ways that I'm not even aware of.
Mm-hmm. You have a lot of customer feedback too on your website, and we shared some of this in the magazine. Like, one of your customers said they save more than 10 hours a week researching, and then it gives them time back to, instead focus on their business. Another one said that their email delivery rates have improved by 73%. So that goes to show like how accurate the email addresses are that you have in your system, that they're up to date and they actually go somewhere. So that's definitely a huge benefit to business owners.
Yeah, our number one priority is the quality of the data. That's where we spend most of our time. And so, there's a lot of groups, and, some of this data is available out there on, the public domains from the regulatory authorities that track, and publish, who the license holders are. But every state is different. I like to think of every state as a different country when it comes to this, because, it's still a Schedule narcotic. And so every state's, kind of built their own program that's only legal within those state boundaries. And so, if you're trying to go out there and target producers or growers or dispensaries, you can waste a lot of time digging around on the web, looking, for this information. And what we've done is, we've tried to eliminate that administrative burden, where, you've got somebody who's tied up and they should be on the phone, selling or doing whatever they're trying to do, but, they're spinning their wheels, on these state websites, and it's draining, to go do that. And then you've got to actually do your job after that.
Exactly.
So, we are, as much as we are a data analytics tool, we're a substitute for, a lot of administrative hassle.
Well, Warren, we've got, we're going to finish up this segment. You can stick around with us after this, or we can have you fire off the website and tell folks how they can learn more about CannaSpyglass.
Yeah, you can learn more about CannaSpyglass at CannaSpyglass.com. You sign up for a free look at, some limited data around Oklahoma, and if you like what you see, and you can sign up through the website, and all of us are available. I'm available. Contact data is out there, and we'd love to get as many people on there as possible.
Yeah, give them a whirl. If you go onto the website right now, it looks like it has a little try it out for free button right there. Click on that. Give them a try. CannaSpyglass.com, and check those guys out. Warren, thanks for being a part of the show.
I appreciate you having me, and have a good one.
Tell Adam we said hi.
Will do.
All right, take care. We'll be right back after this. More Texas Hemp Show, guys, after this.
Big Sky Scientific is offering Texas farmers an opportunity to partner and grow with one of the largest extractors in the world. If you have grown hemp in the past and are looking to grow this season, Big Sky Scientific would love to help you grow your operation and create a long-term partnership. We are offering farmers some of the most competitive prices on the market for their hemp. Planting is rapidly approaching and available partnerships are limited, so don't delay. Big Sky Scientific is a large hemp extractor and wholesale manufacturer of CBD crude, distillate, and isolate. We sell to some of the largest names in the industry and are known for our unparalleled quality. Call Big Sky Scientific for more information about our farming partnerships and high-quality CGMP certified CBD products. Call Big Sky Scientific at 406-578-4900. That's 406-578-4900. Big Sky Scientific.
Hemp-derived cannabinoids such as Delta-8 and others are once again under threat in the Texas legislature. But Hometown Hero, a supporter of the Texas Hemp Show, is leading the fight to keep these products legal and available for adults 21 and older in the Lone Star State. Based in Austin, Hometown Hero is known for its specialty hemp-derived products, which have garnered recognition from High Times magazine and have earned over 3,000 five-star reviews and counting. With their gummies, cereal bars, sour belts, and more, Hometown Hero offers new and novel experiences while donating to nonprofits helping U.S. veterans in need. If you're curious to try premium hemp products from the people leading the fight for hemp in Texas, you can get a 20% discount on all Hometown Hero products by using code THR20 at HometownHeroCBD.com. That's code THR20 at HometownHeroCBD.com.
Hey, this is Tommy Chong, and you're listening to the Texas Hemp Show.
The Texas Hemp Reporter is available free at over 1,000 CBD and smoke shops across Texas. McAllen, Houston, Austin, Dallas, Lubbock, and San Antonio. Texas lawmakers will be in session this year to improve or alter laws on cannabis products. So stay tuned and informed this legislative season with the Texas Hemp Show podcast and the Texas Hemp Reporter magazine. Would you like to host the Texas Hemp Show podcast at your business or specialty special event, now booking live broadcast from your location with our new demo vehicle, the Texas Green Machine. Email Russell at TexasHempReporter@gmail.com. Now, back to the show with your host, Russell Dowden.
Want some whiskey in your water, sugar in your tea? What's all this crazy question they're asking me? This is the craziest party that could ever be. Don't turn on the lights, cause I don't want to see. Mama told me not to come.
All right, welcome back to the Texas Hemp Show. This is our 125th show. So we're glad to be back on the airwaves in Austin on 1027. Our friends on ESPN here. A special shout out to our partners there at Waterloo Media. Glad to be on Saturday mornings with these guys. And again, I wanted to shout out Rachel to a couple of the sponsors. I really want to thank some of these guys for sponsoring our broadcast. CBD Pros USA is up a Dallas-based company, and they have a lot of different stores that they are putting out. They've got franchises with these stores, and they're vertically integrated. They've got their own brand of products, and they've got stores in Killeen, Arlington, College Station, San Antonio, South Lake is Dallas, and then they've even got them mapped out up into other parts of like Oklahoma, and I think even Kansas are starting to branch out with some franchises. So a special thanks to John and those guys at CBD Pros for sponsoring the Texas Hemp Show. They're going to be with us for quite a little while now, as they sponsored us for, I don't know, about like 4 or 5 months. I think they're happy with us and want to keep this thing going. So shout out to them. Also, our friends over at Big Sky Scientific. Big Sky is another sponsor of ours, and Big Sky is up in Big Sky, which is in Montana, and they are a processing facility up there. So they can do processing, where if you want to get and actually you can buy their distillate or isolate if you are interested in purchasing that. But they want to target some of the Texas market, because what they're interested in marketing to our fellow Texans is they want to reach out to many of the growers, and they got a nice ad on page 15 of the Texas Hemp Reporter magazine this past month, and they want to kind of focus on being your wholesale CBD supplier if you're for crude, distillate, or isolate. And Big Sky Sci, SCI.com. There's our website there for them on screen for viewers. But Big Sky Scientific, the choice is clear. They own and operate an industrial scale facility up in Sun River, Montana, and reached out to us on LinkedIn. Said, hey, we want to sponsor what you guys are doing. We like what you're doing. We want to maybe reach down to some fellow Texans down there. So if you're a brand that wants to try to either purchase their isolate products, you can, or if you want to harvest your hemp, contact them up there as well. You can check them out at BigSkySci.com. SCI, Big Sky Sci. Yeah. And then a shout out to our friends at Hometown Hero. They're very proactive products here in Texas, the Austin, Texas-based brand, Hometown Hero. We need to get some of their products up here on our panel here with all of our stuff. We've got some of the Smile and Wellness and Twisted and Sweet Scentsy and Chaos Tonic and a whole bunch of stuff up here. But Hometown Hero sponsored the show. So nice. Very excited to have them on. And then who else? Smile and Wellness. These guys, have you gotten any of this stuff? The box that we got from them, Carl, we got like a ton of their products here. Oh. They got a ton of it, and some of it's here. Here is some of Smile and Wellness's gummies. They've got strawberry Delta 9, Delta 8 gummies. There's all kinds of stuff here. Mushroom Life is another product that they're putting out, which is really cool. And
I love their business name. That's cute. Smilin'.
Yeah. Well, they got some cool stuff. Most of their stuff is on the recreational side, it seems like, I think, Carl. They you guys would agree. If you have gotten your hands on some, if you want to try some of these, let me know. I think I have some of those in the truck I can give to you. But special shout out to them. Their website is smilinwellness.com, and that's SMILYN wellness, and they offer free retail and wholesale platforms, high quality, innovative products, and certified lab reports. And if you give them a jingle, I know they'll give you 20% off your order right now at smilinwellness.com. So I just want to shout out to some of those guys that supported us, because without their support, we couldn't get the show on the local radio station here in town. So we're happy to have these guys, and there's their website there on camera there on for viewers. Smiling Wellness with their indica, Death Star crushers, strawberry crushers, mind accelerators, chocolate malt balls. They've got all kinds of fun stuff. There's a beverage even over here. We need to try that beverage that we've got here. So just kind of shouting out to some of the sponsors that have recently jumped aboard here with us. There, some of those products are there. There was some of the drinks and treats there. And, our friend Ryan over at Twisted CBD is going to be coming on the program here, I believe, in June. Ryan's supposed to come on again and talk to us about with Twisted D8. He's got some really flavorful products on pineapple mango here, handcrafted Delta 8 gummies. I wanted to shout out to Ryan though, because he wants to come on, Rachel, but he wants to come on and do a show where we go out and do like we did with the 420 show, where we went out at the vendor's place of business. So he's going to line up a thing where we probably go to iVape Austin, come out and do the slushies, and we'll actually do a show on remote location again. So nice. That's going to be kind of fun to do again.
Those are always fun.
Well, did y'all have fun on 420?
I did.
Rain aside, I mean, that was still pretty cool.
Yeah, we had our tent. It was fine. And what I loved was talking to the girls that worked in the store.
Mm-hmm.
They were just like super excited to be on the show, and now we follow each other on Instagram. But yeah, they were really nice. To just it's always just nice to see the personalities in the industry, and everyone has a different reason for being in the space.
Well, if you remember, like Jay Hart, Connie over at Jay Hart, she was like, it was real big on the heart part of what those girls, and they all had that concern and care for their customers. And so it was a real, she said that during the hiring process, everybody that she hires always has a strong emotional bond to help people. And that is why that's how she picks her staff, is they care about people and getting people better. And so the girls over there at J Hart were a lot of fun. And so speaking to the educational side of those retailers, it's the retailer and their employees that really inform the public and our fellow Texans about the benefits of this plant and all of its all the wellness benefits from it medicinally. And so we're all learning from what the retailers tell us. Is they're the ones that are advising. It's the Shade of Tarabis of Restart CBD. Anybody who has a retail store educating the public, plays a vital role on educating us all about these great cannabis products.
Yeah, we all have kind of the same mission. So,
well, it is it's very exciting time to be a part of this, and it's just cool doing this work, and having you guys around doing it. What did you think today? We got to go down earlier today to our friends at Weed and Whiskey have the new Austin studio, and because we're media in Austin, Rachel, J-Man is kind of, partnered with us in the Austin studios and has given us, kind of the lead role for covering stories for Weed and Whiskey News in the Austin area. So he kind of had us go down there today. What did you guys think of being down there and checking out the downtown facility? It's pretty cool.
It was super cool. I think I'm really looking forward to if he hosts an event on the roof of that building.
Yeah, the building is brand spanking new down on 10th and Guadalupe. So It's right next to the governor's mansion, but that is a brand spanking new building. I mean, you
Super
can.
nice.
It's
Yeah.
like it had new car smell in the
Yes.
elevator. Did y'all notice
Yeah.
that? It's like everything's brand spanking new.
And the view is, just the Texas Capitol right behind you, and yeah, it just has a really good vibe.
Yeah, here's a couple of pictures of the today there earlier as we did a show. We recorded a show with
Yeah.
him interviewing us, and there's a couple of images of us there downtown. You got the Capitol right behind you in that shot there on the studios. That's Real News Networks are the studios there in downtown Austin. They've got a great facility up in Dallas where I went and did the show last month with J Man up there. But beautiful set, beautiful background there. It was great to hang out with them. I'm looking forward to seeing what develops with those guys, because they've got given us a channel now on Weed and Whiskey TV. And it's just another platform for us, just like our Saturday partners with ESPN. It's another way to get our our broadcast and our information out there through Weed and Whiskey TV. It makes sense.
Yeah, and J-Man's enthusiasm for the content, it's really nice to see, and to just like work with someone like that.
Yeah, he's a lightning bolt.
Yes.
He's
Yes,
full.
he is, in a good way.
Yeah, he's it's funny. He says his birthday's on 4/20, and then he's known as J-Man, and then he ends up in this kind of space, kind of just wanting to get involved in it. And anyway, it's just really cool to work with those guys. I think they got some good ideas going. So if you're interested in learning more about that, email me at texashempreporter@gmail.com if you're interested in being a guest on those shows with J-Man. I know Dalton's been booking a lot of the Dallas shows, but he's asked if we can help him book some shows, we'll help him get some talent down there, and I think that show is going to be fun to check out as well, and just see how that project goes. So that was a lot of fun today hanging out with him. What else is going on? Should we plug? What else do we have website wise? We got some news on our website we want to share? Anything? I don't know what's going on lately here. What are you working on, Rachel, for stories for June, our June issue we're working on?
Well, that is something I haven't quite been able to dive into, but I do have some kind of cool news that I'm working with Lucas from Texas Hemp Processors to develop a product, and I don't want to say too much, but it's super exciting, and I wouldn't have known him or fallen into this kind of idea if it weren't for my work with Texas Hemp Reporter. So I'm just like super excited.
Oh wow, yeah, he was on the show last week, right?
I saw, yeah. I'm like, the one time I couldn't make it, but
that was a good show last week. We had
I'm really excited to be working with Lucas because he's just so smart and professional, and just I'm super excited to just see where it all goes.
Well, he's also working with Texas A&M University. He was telling us last week on the program that he was working with, I think he's working with even one of our with Clayton Moore, who Clayton writes for us he's the undergrad there at Texas A&M University, and Clay is working on some genetic stuff with him, and I think they want to keep that kind of hush hush though. I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about that or not, but I know Clay was telling me that those two are working on through A&M University, the grow operation. They're working with the genetics with him out there in Taylor. So
well, it looks like I'm going to be writing business profiles over the sponsors you just mentioned: CBD Pros, Big Sky Scientific, Smile and Wellness, and then a Hometown Hero article.
Yeah.
So those are going to be my assignments for June that I'm going to be working on through the weekend. Well,
that's going to be cool. We're excited on working on the June edition of the Texas Hemp Reporter. We've teamed up with Dalton O'Neill at Greenlight Events. We're going to be profiling the Cannabis Roundup that you and I did a show at last year.
Are we doing a show there again this year?
I think we are. We are going to be doing another show. That maybe
tradition now.
Maybe we'll drag Carl with us on that one this time, and we'll be doing another broadcast up there. That is going to be August 17th, and but Dalton's part of the cover, his event is going to be on the cover of the new June issue, which, by the way, the June issue is our 3rd anniversary issue. It's our we started in June of 2020, and so that'll be our 3-year anniversary,
How
our June
exciting.
edition of the magazine. So that
Hey,
is
the
kinda cool.
magazine has the same birth month as me.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Is that right? Well,
Yep, got a birthday coming up.
all right. Well, that's good to know. Well, I guess we could take another commercial break maybe here, and then talk some more news on the other side. But if you are listening on that ESPN side of things, you're listening to the Texas Hemp Show. We publish the Texas Hemp Reporter magazine, and we cover cannabis news in the Lone Star State. So that's kind of our thing, where you'll hear guests that'll come on the show and talk about their products and services, and that's what we're about, covering the changing laws and regulations here in Lone Star State. And so we hope you can tag along with us over there on 102.7 ESPN. I'm Russell. She's Rachel. We'll be back on the other side. This is the Texas Hemp Show.
Howdy, 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 folks. Welcome to Weed and Whiskey News. I'm your host, J-Man. I got a bunch of stocks, pot stocks, regular stocks. They've been all suffering.
But in fact, it was the making marijuana illegal that created the crime.
You smoke a little every now and then?
When I am in a legal state.
Pothead, he's also a co-star in there. You'll see him all the time, every time.
And not everybody has orange Cheeto dust on their fingers because they use cannabis, right?
I am not from this world, but this guitar is. You will be able to win this guitar for Christmas.
As always, I'm your host, J-Man. See you again real soon.
Hey, this is Cheech Marin, and you're listening to the Texas Hemp Show.
The Texas Hemp Show is brought to you by your friends at CBD Pros USA, your cannabis experts. Right now, you can save 50% off any one product if you mention the Texas Hemp Show. That's right, 50% off anything on the online store menu. Nano Tincture, watermelon gummies, our Brio Drip moisturizing cream, any single item, 50% off. That's CBD Pros. CBD is present in more significant quantities in hemp than marijuana. And because it's non-psychoactive, CBD is widely regarded as the cannabinoid with the most health potential by researchers. If you'd like to learn more about CBD and our products at CBD Pros, you can read our education page and browse some of our products to learn more. Visit CBDProsUSA.com. That's CBDProsUSA.com. Now, back to the show with your host, Russell Dowden.
All right, welcome back to the Texas Hemp Show. This is podcast number 125 this week here on the Texas Hemp Show. I'm Russell with the Texas Hemp Reporter magazine. We are working currently on our, what is it, our 18th edition of the Texas Hemp Reporter magazine, and we've been doing that now going on 3 years. It's been 3 years because our first issue came out in June of 2020, and so that is going to be our 18th edition of the Texas Hemp Reporter magazine. So 3 years, still plugging along. So good stuff. We're happy to keep this thing going, and happy to be expanding our show. Our show's doing well out on podcast networks. You can download us on Spotify. You can hear us on iHeart. You can hear us on the ESPN website, on our page on ESPN Austin, on here on the website there on the radio. But you can also hear us on pretty much any podcast platform, guys. Most people are listening to us on mobile devices. We find the stats are showing most people listen to us that way. And then you can follow us on YouTube. You can check us out on our website at TexasHempReporter.com. You can follow the Texas Hemp Reporter as well on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. We're also out there on LinkedIn posting articles. We're on a number of platforms out there, but recently joining and partnering up with our friends there with J-Man and Weed and Whiskey TV. So it's another digital platform that our video versions of the show are available on. But the Texas Hemp Show podcast, again, working on our upcoming issue here in the June edition, be our 3rd anniversary issue of the Texas Hemp Reporter, made available statewide in all CBD and smoke shops. We are in Houston, Dallas, Austin, and San Antonio, covering the ever-changing landscape of CBD, hemp, and cannabis products here in the Lone Star State. What's cooking over there, Rachel? You got some news for us?
Well, I'm just reading about kind of how the what is it? House bill. What did I say it's called?
218?
218.
The decrim bill.
Yes,
yeah.
the decrim bill. How it's made its way through the House, and now we're gonna wait and see what happens. But kind of the buzz I see online is that nobody's really enthusiastic or has like high hopes of it actually passing.
Well, what, we don't know if it'll pass the Senate, or is it we don't know if it'll pass the Lieutenant Governor's office?
Yeah, I mean, I guess both. This has happened before. This isn't the first time that the House has passed a decrim thing. So yeah, I guess we'll just wait and see how it plays out. But from what I'm seeing, just the general attitude out there is like, I don't think it's gonna happen this session. But
Really? I don't know. I'm optimistic on that.
I know. I'm trying to be optimistic, and
I hope we get some changes with the legislative session with lawmakers down there. I know there's there's a lot of some side doesn't want to see the advent of some lawmakers don't want to see synthetics continue to be legal. These are our Delta 8 products, our synthesized cannabinoids. That seems to be more on the recreational side of that space, and then we want to see more. It's funny because there's a lot of different moving parts to this space, and so you've got your recreational side of the cannabinoids, your gummies, your Delta 8, Delta 9 products. These are the things that kind of give you a slight feeling. And then you've got the CBD side that is medicinal. It does great. Jennifer, my wife, was putting some cream on her hand the other day because she's got rheumatoid arthritis and she was having a flare up. Babe, where's some cream? Show me. Get something. So there's that medicinal side of all of this. And then you've got, aside from the CBD products and the the benefits of your topicals and your smokable 3% flower, if you will, there's still the part that's run by DPS, which is our medical marijuana program, that's changing too. So there's a 3 or 4 sides of this, and then you've got your agriculture where there's folks want to see eventually where we have feed and livestock can take in the hemp based products for livestock. So there's and then there's industrial hemp.
Right.
There's a whole it keeps going.
Yeah.
There's a lot of moving parts in all of this. And so we just I hope that with what we get with the 88th legislative session is bigger steps than we did with the 87th. Not a lot of changes, not a lot of movement happened with lawmakers last session on all of this. So I'm learning a lot. I still should probably go down there more and advocate. But there's a lot of parts, to all of this. And I'm more optimistic that I think they're going to, the push for, I don't know if you heard, Rachel, that the push for the medical marijuana side is they want to get rid of the 1%. and then go with a 10 milligram max on dosage, and then
wow.
also give some ruling powers. So there's a lot of things going on. I'm still trying to wrap my head around a lot of it.
Yeah.
And I should probably have an attorney on, like, or Alyssa Nolan from the Hemp Coalition on to tell us a little more how these things are moving. But I think we'll get those attorneys on, Rachel, and Alyssa Nolan from the Hemp Coalition and others will come on the show when session ends.
Yeah, and
in
we'll
the
see
end of
kind
this
of what
month.
progress
Yeah.
happened. And you know what we were talking about with J-Man today at lunch is just how, you know, Texas is obviously a Republican state, but you know, marijuana decriminalization or legalization, it's becoming less and less of a bipartisan issue, that
Yeah.
there are more Republicans even coming out and, you know, supporting it. So hopefully we'll keep seeing the needle move that way.
Yeah. And, you know, if you want or support these types of movement in these products and the, you know, then let your local and state representatives and senators know that, you know, you support these products. I didn't always do this, but since I've been in this space for 3 years, I do pick up the phone and talk to Representative Tellerico here in Round Rock. I've called my rep. They know where I sit on things. And then what's cool is actually they support these things too. So it's also good to know, does your representative in your district support these products? If you support them, if you want them to know, let them know. Tell them that, hey, I do you support these products? Because I want you to support this bill and this bill and this bill. And I've called, and I know that my rep here in Round Rock, Representative Tellerico, is supportive. He's not a problem.
Nice.
He's probably one of the ones that got this to some of these things to committee that get on to the next step. But it is important to let your lawmakers know where you sit and find out where they sit, because that's a good thing to know. We vote these people in, and we can vote them out as well.
Yes, they work for us.
We have to remind them of that. Tell me about this story about the highway vodka. Isn't that a Houston based?
So there's a Forbes article I just found.
Well, I'm gonna let you finish, but we picked some of that up the other day when we were at the 420 event on Pond Springs with friends over at Good Time Smoke Shop. There's a little liquor store next door there, and we went in for some limes or something. But I gave the magazines to the guy, and the guy said, "Oh, you're gonna like this product then." And he pulls out highway vodka, which is made with CBD or
no, it's not CBD. It's made from hemp seed. It's distilled and fermented with hemp seed. So I don't think it has like CBD per se.
No, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's not, that they can't mix the two, or like the state regulations as of now, because I was talking to somebody about making a CBD infused wine. And I think it was Chelsea Spencer that said that legally they can't really just like infuse alcohol with, you know, CBD and THC. So
well, not legally.
Right. Yeah.
Some people are infusing in some things.
But this is cool. This is just one of those things that's emerging. I see stuff all the time emerging, you know, chicken feed and this and that. And I'm always sharing it on my Instagram story.
So the Forbes article was about a highway vodka.
Yes. It says how a Black-owned Texas distillery is championing hemp-based vodka. So they did a cool feature story about, highway vodka. Texas first vodka distilled and fermented with hemp seed vodka.
Wow.
It's crafted in Houston, and it's at the state's first Black-owned distillery, which is pretty cool. It's the only hemp-based spirit in the country with mainstream distribution, and it's coming right here out of Texas.
And you know what? I have a bottle of it on my cabinet at home.
Have you tried it?
I have not tried it. It's unopened. We have not opened that one yet.
Next week, I want to hear a review.
Well, I think I may, now that we're talking about it tonight, maybe we'll get into that, and I'll have an update for us on that highway vodka. We're going to wrap the show. We've got maybe a minute left here on the program, but good stuff. Exciting times for CBD, hemp, cannabis. You know, we're going to see what happens. Is Texas ever going to get with the program, and hopefully we'll see some positive things. I think it's going to take another year or two, a couple of years, but the news reported on KXAN the other night that they had a hearing, and I think it was Representative Moody, the sponsor of 218, the decrim bill. They had a panel the other day that said, what would it look like if cannabis were legal in Texas? And the lawmakers discussed it to see who might regulate it, and what would it look like how would it be enforced and taxed. And so they're having these conversations,
and that's a good thing.
And when they're having them on Congress Avenue in Texas, here in Austin, it is a good thing. So I think we're getting there. It may be another session or two away, but it's happening.
It is.
And whenever that happens, you can best bet the Texas Hemp Reporter will be there to cover that. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next week. Texas Hemp Show.
I want it back. No right to take my joy, 'cause I want it back. You took my joy, I want it back. You took my joy, I want it back. Go to West Memphis and look for my joy. Go to West Memphis and look for my joy. Maybe it was Memphis, so I'm not joy. Maybe it was Memphis, so I'm not joy.